It's June, and of course that means that all your favorite corporations are changing their logos and posting their public declarations of faith, though some always end up posting propaganda that turns out to be a little too honest. But this most holy of months isn't just about corporate virtue signaling, it's also about escalating the rhetoric. Feeling empowered to say things you would normally obfuscate behind more careful language. Last June, this gem of an article was making the rounds and suggesting that children should be exposed to kink at pride parades. I made a video about that article at the time, so I'm not going to go ahead and rehash that whole thing here. If you'd like to watch, I'll go ahead and put a card in the video right now. You can click on it and then come back when you're ready. But what is important to this video is that I predicted at the time that despite a big backlash to that article, this issue would not be going away, and that the ideas that it was espousing would slowly become mainstream and normalized. And here we are, just 1 year later, and another article emerges pushing the same idea but with even more explicit and graphic language and implications. And of course, the name of this outlet is Horrific Fatherly. Obviously, anyone who's familiar with this account knows that it's subversive, progressive trash, but just masquerading as if it's giving advice to fathers is terrible. It makes it worse somehow. And honestly, I thought this was as bad as things were going to get this year, escalating the language about sexualizing children in this manner. This is already crazy enough, right? But clearly even I am not jaded and cynical enough about how fast this stuff is progressing, I guess. At the Dallas Pride Festival, a gay bar hosted a Drag Your Kids to Pride event where children tip performers like they were strippers in a nude bar. I am genuinely sorry to have to include this footage. It makes me physically ill just watching it, but I found if people don't actually see what's going on in these situations, they tend to just dismiss or downplay what's happening because facing the truth is too difficult. And because this kind of shocking footage has captured what is really happening in these scenarios, its inclusion is unfortunately necessary. More and more of this disturbing evidence is coming to light as more and more people become comfortable and confident about capturing it and posting it on the internet as if it's something to be excited about. And so just 1 year after that initial article, it's very clear that this isn't just some kind of abstract debate taking place in opinion pieces or on Twitter, but that this grooming behavior is actively happening and being normalized. As you might expect, many activists rush to defend the practice, and we have already watched the cycle shift from "this isn't happening" to "it is happening and it's good actually." But one of these tweets really stood out from the progressive YouTube creator ContraPoints. ContraPoints used many of the expected tropes. Oh, this isn't a big deal. There's no real threat to these kids. The people opposing it don't really care about children. But then ContraPoints took a very dark turn and directly attacks the very concept of childhood innocence, the very idea that children should be protected from exposure to explicit adult material. ContraPoints actually calls the notion of childhood innocence romanticized bullshit made up by adults, and also very notably says that it reflects every adult prejudice. Why that particular choice of language? What could ContraPoints mean by that? Well, that choice of rhetoric is very intentional. It means that the very concept of childhood innocence is not only prejudice, but intolerant, oppressive, and about dominance, a construct forced onto children by our society. ContraPoints is saying that innocence is something children need to be liberated from. I don't feel like I need to be any more clear about that issue. And of course, this is the entirely predictable progression of this rhetoric. This is always where it was going to go. There was only ever one destination for the liberation narrative when applied to this issue. These activists who have made this their entire identity, their entire income stream, their entire social circle, their entire religion, they were never going to just say, whoa, let's calm down, dial things back, and draw a line in the sand here. There are no brakes on this train, and the revolution will continue no matter what stands in its path. If childhood innocence is blocking the progress of the movement, then it will be dismantled just like every other societal inhibition and protection before it. As we hurtle down to the bottom of the slippery slope at an ever-increasing speed, it gets harder and harder for them to avoid saying the obvious out loud. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, now is a great time to do so. If you'd like to support my work like these amazing people who are currently being displayed on screen, you can go ahead and follow the link below the video to my Subscribe Star. There's also now a exclusive video for my Subscribe Star supporters that comes out once a month if you want to go ahead and catch all the ones I've posted previously, and of course the one that will be coming out in June. You can make sure to go ahead and support over there. I've also got links to all my stuff like Twitter, Gab, my Rumble, and Odyssey channels. As always, I really suggest that you go ahead and follow me on alternative platforms. You never know how long we have on these social media sites. So if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, you can go ahead and follow me there. The channel also recently hit 20,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you to everybody. You guys are amazing. You make this possible. Obviously, I couldn't do this without you, and it's humbling and surprising to have had the YouTube channel and the Twitter and everything else grow the way it has. So once again, just thank you so much. And as always, I'll talk to you next time.